Alright, chat, what up, YouTube? We got another vid for y'all. While Bobbi Althoff, what the fuck is her last name? Podcast fell so good. See what we talking about.
Bobbi Althoff's really good podcast started extremely strong, gaining millions of views with unique celebrity interviews. However, in just a year and a half, her viewership has basically flatlined, with almost 300,000 people agreeing, "I've never seen an industry plant fall off harder than she did." Her career began on TikTok in 2021, making dry, sarcastic content on the topic of being a mother. She'd make only 26 videos before beginning the really good podcast, to which she'd adapt her dry, sarcastic style.
I think we look alike.
Kind of, but not really.
A little. You're like me in a different font.
The snippet quickly racked up almost 10 million views. The style was an instant success. This entire interview is like the calmest argument in history, and I love it. The snippets from her next episode went equally viral.
The clips did really, really well on TikTok. So I was like, okay, I guess I have something here.
But it was the episode with Funny Marco that completely changed everything. Because not only did the segments again pull crazy numbers, but the full episode gained over 5 million views without a single hate comment anywhere in sight. It's rare that two people I've never heard of make me laugh for an hour straight. This was special. This is hilarious. Marco has found the white woman version of himself. This should be a permanent duo. This is just the most cross-cultural, funny, awkward humor. People loved the honest branding of new episode whenever I can get someone to agree to let me interview them, the next of which being a very important person.
My video with Marco went very viral.
Yeah.
Very viral. Then Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded and he followed me.
Bobbi therefore tried to get him on.
I'm gonna shoot my shot to Drake. So I was like, when are you gonna come on my podcast?
And he
said,
game right
yeah,
away.
he was ready to do it.
Landing Drake as her 4th ever podcast guest. From an entertainment standpoint, the episode was basically perfect. Not only had she landed Drake, who never does podcasts, but she'd done so in a funny, intimate setting, whilst keeping it calm and relaxed, to the extent that people thought they were just old friends.
The fact that you were so calm next to Champagne Poppy, because if I was in a bed next to Drake, I would be freaking out.
It therefore gained 10 million views in only 2 weeks, and added 700,000 subscribers to Bobbi's total count. However, as summarized by a tweet reading, "Drake giveth and Drake taketh away," Bobbi's interview with Drake began to ruin her reputation. During the podcast, Bobbi had asked,
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
and when Drake said that Bobbi should get with his friend, she seemed kind of interested.
If I could hook you up with anyone, it would be my dog Smigs.
Smigs?
Smigs. Smiley.
Can you tell me about Smiley?
Let me show you a picture of him.
Is he well known or are you just a friend of yours?
The Funny Marco interview had a similar interaction,
Are you hitting on me?
You're not my type.
What's your type?
with Bobbi stating she started the podcast for the following reason.
To have a way to meet people, and the podcast, I was like, I wish I could have collaborate with other people.
Meeting new people likely wasn't sinister, but flirting with famous musicians seemed to annoy her husband, who filed for divorce only 6 days after she recorded the podcast with Drake. To make matters worse, Bobbi also admitted,
I flew all the way here
You did. I really do appreciate
on my
that.
daughter's first birthday
You missed your daughter's first birthday.
to be here.
Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
showing she was kind of ditching her family for social media fame.
Is it kind of strange to anyone else that this woman who is married with children is constantly asking during these interviews with these rappers if basically they would go out with her, if basically they would sleep with her, if they like her?
She'd confirmed the divorce in a TikTok post, with comments stating celebrity status always ruins the best things in life. On Reddit, people stated, she got famous and he stayed the same. Few marriages survived that, whilst the rumors likely didn't help. Did Bobbi Althoff cheat with Drake quickly became a mainstream narrative. Suggesting a conspiracy was when Bobbi deleted the podcast, with Drake and Bobbi both unfollowing each other on Instagram. Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports therefore sent her a text. "My girlfriend says you hooked up with Drake and got divorced. I am saying that is not true." Bobbi replied, "I'm not commenting publicly, but off the record, you're right, that is not true." She'd share the text to her story, adding, "I did did not want to do this podcast in the first place, and now so much negativity is coming from it. I'm going to leave it alone after this, but this is the uncensored DM between Dave and I, although despite denying the rumors the narrative was set. Bobbi Althoff left her husband to thot around with rappers.
Would you date someone that looks like me? Because there's just a person
What does that mean?
like looks exactly like me. They have a twin.
Maybe.
If I had a twin,
Maybe.
would you date them?
If she was like cool and like, you know.
The damage this did to Bobbi's image could be seen on her husband's Instagram, with comments reading, "Sorry that your ex sold you out for clout and fame," after which everything Bobbi did became some kind of drama. For example, she'd do a podcast with Little Yachty, with people calling her ungrateful after she said this.
I walked into his
I
house and it was
kinda
super
like
awkward because like
those, though.
he's really kind of awkward. He didn't even like say hi to me. He's just sitting there with like his two assistants, and then he comes up, he's like, "Oh, hi," gives me like a half hug, and I'm just like, "Hi," then goes back to his spot, and I'm like, dude, I don't even want to do this. I'm texting my friend like, "Ashley, I need to leave. This is so awkward. I don't want it. Like, what am I doing here?"
She wants to make awkward content and then puts Yachty on blast. Shaking my head. Gave her a platform and now she's shitting on y'all. See what happens? People then claimed that her fast rise to fame was orchestrated by her management company,
I'm pretty sure somebody at WME started help pulling the strings to set all this in motion.
who also managed some of the people who appeared on Bobbi's show.
Well, you got a great agent, and you got a great agency, and you got great guests.
Bobbi simply trolled the claims, but there were other inconsistencies. For example, she constantly claimed that she was broke
People think I'm joking about being in debt. I'm not. Like, I put every penny I had into this podcast.
and told Mark Cuban this.
I don't have any money
None?
at all. I have debt, actually.
You have debt? How much debt do you have?
Like $20,000 of debt.
Then further added in her Rick Glassman podcast.
Every time a credit card maxes out, I have
An
to
angel
switch
gets
to
his
another.
wings.
I have like 2 cards maxed out right now, so hoping to pay them off soon.
However, people realized she spent $500 on Chloe sandals. She is not broke, she is broken. Also noting that her husband was a millionaire who had 170,000 students who'd bought his $43 course. Eventually, Bobbi also revealed that the podcast wasn't serious.
So when you interview these people, you're not Bobbi necessarily.
No, yeah, I'm just like a really dry person.
Deleting more of the magic that first made her interesting. We mentioned that when she first interviewed Marco, there were no negative comments. However, 3 months later when Reddit asked thoughts on Bobbi Althoff, there wasn't a single positive comment. Annoying ASF and not funny at all. I can't stand her, don't find her funny, and find it odd that rappers are always her target to pick on like she's better than them. Gives me the ick. I watched a few of her interviews. I just don't find her funny or charismatic enough to pull off the shtick. I can see why she's popular though. This kind of awkward cringe humor is having a moment. Only 4 days after that Reddit thread, it was reviewed as the not so really good podcast, which stated the content itself is boring. The episodes also lack direction and a central theme, probably because they only consist of small talk. The podcast fails to deliver anything substantial or thought-provoking. Instead, it provides a glimpse into how celebrities behave in casual settings, which may seem intriguing to some, but ultimately failed to engage me. Another person said that Bobbi's podcast sadly points out how real hip-hop journalism has been practically erased, while even funny Marco began to critique her show.
With me, it was like, I think you're funny, Marco, but let me learn about you. Like, trying to figure me out. But now it's like the interviews, I think they're like, she's trying to shit on people. And when I watched the interview with Offset, I was like, damn, that was pretty bad.
As mentioned, she was plain disrespectful during her podcast with Offset, leading him to respond with similar energy.
You need a little bit of seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken, just on the thing, you pull it off, and then you serve the dish.
It seemed this was where many people quit watching Bobbi's show, aided by full podcast episodes that were just promoting products. In the process, she'd also change her appearance, leading to criticism bad enough for Bobbi to respond.
I am so tired of all of the comments of people saying she ruined her face.
Damn, she do look different. Look at her face. Why would she do that? She wasn't even ugly. Oh no. Y'all feeling this chat?
face. The only thing I have done to my face is that I have a little bit of filler in my upper lip, okay? I do not have cheek filler.
In a different video, she talked about getting other procedures.
I went in to get my zit injected and I left with Botox in my forehead, which, you know, that's fine, that's normal. I had lines here. I also didn't like that this would crease so much when I'd smile, so I got under eye filler. So I got Botox injected right here.
Which, perhaps unfairly, has only led to even more hate. Her 15 minutes are up. Bye, Bobbi. I am so tired of Bobbi. Get off the internet, boring. The last couple of months, however, have been even worse. For starters, the style of the podcast has changed. The dry, sarcastic humor has become normal conversation, and all the awkward, quiet moments are often removed in editing. Strangely, however, this only makes it even more awkward and less entertaining, as it feels like any other normal podcast.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so young.
I'm a baby still.
Wait, I didn't realize you were so young. I thought we were the same age. Now I feel really old.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
You're not really old.
This entire interview feels like they are making small talk while waiting for something. She'd also do an episode with DrxpKing in which she was way ruder than any other podcast.
What is something fun that makes interviewing someone fun for you?
Just having good conversation.
Okay, yeah, I love good conversation.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't tell.
This genuinely was not even an interview. This was like bullying the nice kid and making him feel horrible in any way. Then 2 months ago, she did this video here, which, judging by the dislike ratio, was yet another doozy.
And then I saw this video of a girl talking about how much she made from her podcast, and I mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
I saw how much someone made and thought, that's what I need to do. Wow, what a passionate and inspiring individual. Toward the start of her career, Bobbi joked, not more money though, and that's all that matters in the world, but it seems that's now her actual philosophy.
I didn't grow up with money. I am on a lifelong journey to get money. I love
money's nice.
It's amazing.
Ever since doing the interview, Bobbi's viewership has significantly slowed. Her reputation is far from perfect, whilst her interview style has simply gone stale.
Damn.
Bronny James may just...
Vid though, chat. Vid though. If you liked it, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. Holla at you on the next one. I'm out.